So the version I have here is with Christopher Lee commentating at the beginning and end and a little bit in the middle.
Why would you commentate in the middle?
Lon Jr.'s real name was Creighton Chaney.
Creighton Chaney. Lon is definitely the superior name to choose when you're acting.
Sci-Fi Channel brings you...
Sci-fi? Holy shit. They did Sharknado, right?
Yeah, with that effects on that owl, you can really tell. Do you think it's going to be World War II related again?
No, because it's not the Mummy's agent, Creighton Chaney, in the Mummy's tomb.
Henry Sucker. There she
Gowns!
is.
Farrah West. This movie looks,
Hot garbage.
hot
zombie
garbage
movie?
already, yeah. Ooh, is that Drew?
If Drew Barrymore was a praying mantis, yeah.
Oh, are they gonna flash back to the other movie or movies about the Mummy?
Where they
swear
do
to
the
God.
same Boris Karloff
The
scene.
same Boris Karloff
But with Lon
scene?
Chaney instead.
Oh, they Toho? Jesus Christ.
They only do it in The Mummy, though. The first one's only like a 6 or a 7.
Mm-hmm. And most of that is because Boris Karloff did it so well. Like, he... in
That
role
and
was
his
terrifying.
powers were like
Actually scary.
defined and scary. And he was like actually kind of menacing.
And then the second one, you get, like, Palpatine, and he just kind of stands there and talks.
Yeah, Palpatine wasn't the last one, you're right.
Later on, we found the most amazing thing about this mummy.
It will bring us tons of money if we keep making movies about it.
Isn't it still playing footage from the other movie?
Yeah. It really
That
is.
hasn't stopped yet?
Are you telling me that new footage would be better than The Mummy Returns?
With Brendan Fraser?
Yeah, no, I forgot what the last one was.
Nothing's better than Brendan Fraser's The Mummy Returns, Ian.
Is that the one where Dwayne The Rock Johnson's the Scorpion King?
Yes, that's also the Scorpion King.
I would argue there's a lot of things better than The Mummy Returns. Is The Mummy the one with the most movies out of all of them?
He has the longest running franchise, and it's still for some reason going, regardless of what they're doing now with their Dark Universe. The concept of The Mummy is pretty malleable. You can either do like a blockbuster that costs millions of dollars, or just do one of these pieces of shit and be like, oh, here's a tomb, we're in it. Oh, wow.
Wait, that's the guy from the last one. Oh, he's still watching footage from the last
footage
one.
from the last one. So this is still the other movie. Wasn't good then, equally as good now.
It's actually worse now because I had to watch it again.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, this movie's not making a case for being any good at all. Thank you, Christopher Lee.
I really appreciate him stopping the movie.
Just spouting the plot that I just saw from the Mummy's hand.
So he played Dracula, he played Frankenstein.
He played the Mummy.
The Frankenstein's creature. He played the Mummy. He played Dr. Jekyll and Hyde for all this for Hammer. I don't know if he played
Christopher Lee's the man.
the werewolf or not, but oh my god.
No, that was Benicio del Toro.
That was Benicio del Toro in 2010, you're right. So there's two reasons we're not watching the Hammer ones. One, they don't cross over. Two,
They're good. Probably.
there are even more movies we'd have to watch in this marathon.
Yeah, but they're good. The
They
Hammer
do
movies
look
are
very good.
I've seen a lot of the Frankenstein movies from Hammer. I've seen a lot of the Dracula movies from Hammer. I haven't seen any of the Mummy ones because...
The Dracula Hammer one, I've seen footage from the very first one. It looks like a fresh banger. It's still playing footage from the other movie. We're 12 minutes in!
10 minutes if you count Christopher Lee.
It must have been super fucking cheap to make this movie. They didn't fucking spend any money on it.
This movie's recollection part, he missed every shot and that guy fell. Sorry.
That's definitely what happened last movie too. He tumbled down 80 stairs.
He doesn't do it. He doesn't make the noises.
Okay, but Lon Chaney, sorry, Creighton Chaney is the Mummy in this one, and they cut back to footage where he's not the Mummy.
No, he's the Mummy in this one. This is the second one.
The second one he wasn't. It was a different guy.
Who was the Mummy in the second one?
Someone who never returned. This fucking guy.
But then the Mummy returns.
In Brendan Fraser's
Yeah.
Stop saying the Mummy Returns with Brendan Fraser. You always try to like weave in these terrible Brendan Fraser mummy movies.
But that was actually a pun on the Mummy because he does return
but
technically.
you saw the opportunity and you went, you know what, I can inject into this conversation some Brendan Fraser mummy movies.
Those are probably the better Mummy movies. They're gonna be hilarious, okay?
That doesn't make them better.
Imagine if you were trying to drink your semen fucking juice and someone shot you in the back.
You missed the plot of the last one, didn't you? Thank God. Only took 15 minutes, which is a quarter of the runtime of this movie, to finish the first movie again.
Is that Lon Chaney this time?
It's the shape of Lon Chaney Jr. That means 3 or car in sign language, depending on how you move your hand.
Yep. Oh, is this the actual movie now?
Yeah, it's been the actual movie for a few minutes.
Cool.
I want him to vibrate his hand and put it through his chest with reverse flash. What did you see?
That was a bad cut. Was that part of a commercial?
That was probably like the first 2 seconds of a commercial it just cut away from. Why did Christopher Lee show up for 10 seconds?
Why does anything happen?
It literally just cuts to Christopher Lee going, "We'll be back soon," and then it goes right back to the mummy.
Is that the mummy? He looks like a fucking skeleton. He looks like he's been dead for 50 years and hasn't eaten.
Way to roast him. Jesus Christ, it's probably just an old guy.
I really don't like the effect on the mummy. Like,
What do you mean the effect? The
like
makeup?
the makeup.
I don't mind the makeup.
It's just like
similar
a
to-
crinkly-lipped man.
When applying face makeup to make someone look like burned or dead, the lips always crinkle more than the rest of the face so they can move their lips, and it's really off. But like in Deadpool. Deadpool's makeup in both those movies, his lips are wicked crinkly versus the rest of his head, and it's off-putting.
Why is Saturn in the corner of the screen?
Listen, featuring Christopher Lee and Saturn, the planet.
What's a bigger star, Christopher Lee or Saturn?
Well, Saturn isn't one, it's a planet.
Hollywood star, dumbass. How many more movies has Christopher Lee been in than Saturn the planet?
Saturn was in Wall-E, so I don't know. Ugh,
Thanks.
fucking hand.
It's crinkly so he can move it.
Creighton Chaney has done
Oh, that's real.
Wolfman, he's done Frankenstein, he's gonna do The Mummy for this one and like 2 more.
There's 2 more?
And then after this, in like 4 more movies, he's gonna do Son of Dracula, he's gonna be Dracula. It's gonna conclude the solo Dracula trilogy. Dracula, daughter, son, and then it's going to the houses.
Yeah, you know what I'm excited for? Those.
The houses? Yes. Well, gee, funny you mentioned that, because,
Is the next one House of Frankenstein?
no, that's far.
What's the next one House of Dracula?
No, that's far.
What's the next one?
I'll tell you later.
Abbott and Costello.
Have it still be just The Mummy. Actually, that's toward the end of the list.
Oh, where's Screaming Old Woman, my favorite Universal monster cat?
Oh, she's in the Frankenstein ones and she doesn't shut up.
I've seen it by the window.
The window. Oh, is that because you're in Massachusetts? Very clever. Where's the fake fucking Ben Affleck Boston accent?
Oh, here comes Lon Chaney Jr. Full legal name before he changed it to Lon Chaney.
This guy in his house again. Jesus fucking Christ, the whole movie. They're playing checkers.
Why would you move there? And set him up for a triple jump. He's so bad at checkers. In my life, I've never made a move where someone jumped me 3 times because of it.
I've accidentally made a move where someone jumped me 3 times, but I won the game afterward. Here's 3 of my pieces that I jumped him twice and took both of his pieces. Doggies.
Is one of those Bela Lugosi?
I love looped dog audio. The Mummy's the most nimble fucking man on the planet if he can climb that.
He's made of dust and paper.
Climbed up that fucking thing with 1 arm. Open the door and leave. The door's behind you. He's dead. Say it.
Say it.
He's dead.
Wow.
Oh, thanks. Fucking Christopher Lee.
Recounting parts of the movie.
Thank God. I'm sure as fuck not. I figured at least Christopher Lee would add insight, like, hey, behind the scenes, this happened with the actors, and I could be like, oh, that's kind of interesting. But he just tells the plot of the movie after we just saw the plot of the movie.
I'm hungry.
I have a cock. You want some?
No, I don't want a cock.
Why not? It'll taste good, trust me.
No, it
Here, I'm
won't.
pulling it out now.
No.
I'm erect.
Alright, that picture of the man and the woman with the pitchfork but fat. What did you see?
If I Google angry farmer painting, it's gonna come up. Why is he spying on them in this cornfield? I swear to God, the plots of the monster movies classically are like a child just says random locations and people.
He thinks she's a baddie and is gonna have the mummy steal her. And then Basil Rathbone Jr. is gonna fucking shoot them and solve the day.
You mixed up solve the whole entire World War with save the day, which are the same exact thing in The Invisible Agent.
While the moon is still high in the sky.
Then you'll become a werewolf. 1 fish, 2 fish. You're a werewolf. I hope he gets to heal J.K. Simmons. Why are there so many flowers in this room?
There's at least like 20 flowers in that one vase.
Yep, and there's like 3 other vases in that direction.
And there's a flower on his shirt. What's this one called?
The Mummy's Tomb.
Because I know there's the mummy, the mummy hand job, the
Yep.
mummy's tomb, the mummy,
Nope. Okay, so...
Tomb of the Dragon Emperor,
Nope.
returns.
Nope. Calm down. Nope.
Tom Cruise is the mummy.
Nope. You did them all out of order and skipped a lot. All I see in here is just meh, see, meh. People wonder if mobsters actually talk like meh, meh, but like in the movies.
They're not mobsters.
No, but this is how people from the 40s sounded on screen.
That guy's hair parted down the middle is not itchy.
Ugh, especially when it's that thin. Okay, so a guy dressed up in like wraps and shit starts killing people. Your first logical assumption isn't, oh, it's a guy who's a lunatic. It's, oh, a mummy came back from thousands of years ago and is now terrorizing the people.
If you saw this walking around, would you go, it's a mummy, or a regular guy?
My first instinct isn't thinking, wow, it's a 2,000-year-old mummy come back from the dead.
He's dead.
Oh, thank you. I couldn't have figured that one out.
He's a killer fiend. I wish I could cut to Christopher Lee saying something. Oh, wow!
The mummy isn't scary in anyone but the first one, when he had his heart attack power. Because now he has to lumber up real close to you.
Who would win in a Universal Monster Battle Royale?
Dracula. He can turn into anything.
Oh, he's got every power. I forgot.
Oh no, Frankenstein grabbed me. I'm a bat now.
He's literally all the X-Men rolled into one character.
Yeah.
And
Like
also immortal. Dracula has every power, but Frankenstein, no matter what happens to him, keeps just standing up later. And it keeps fighting.
Well, what if Dracula sucked all his blood?
Does Frankenstein have blood?
Yeah. He's alive.
He's also canonically blind at this point.
What's the mummy gonna do? The mummy sucks.
Well, hang on, you got the Wolfman.
The
who's just
Wolfman?
a really big wolf.
He gets killed by regular things.
Dracula could control the Wolfman to kill the rest of the monsters and then just kill the Wolfman. The Invisible Man. No one knows where he is. He'd win.
No.
Yeah.
You think the Invisible Man killed Dracula?
He'd be naked. He'd grab like a small piece of silver and just stab him.
And then you'd see the small piece of silver floating around.
He'd drag it on the ground so it wouldn't float.
But then you'd hear it dragging on the ground.
He'd wait until a monster is fighting another monster and then use it.
It would be a toss-up, but the Invisible Man is just a regular dude. You know how Dracula's like, I don't like mirrors. It's because back in the day, mirrors were backed with silver. So that's why you can't see vampires in mirrors. Because they don't like silver. Now mirrors are made with aluminum, so not only would they be able to see their reflections, but they wouldn't be like afraid of them.
But now the trope is that vampires can't. So now he can't.
No, that's not how it works.
No, the trope of the vampire is that you can't see their reflection.
That's stupid.
It's no longer silver based. In fact, I don't even think silver is the thing that stops them anymore. I think that's just werewolves in pop culture now.
That's dumb. But I'm just saying.
It's all dumb.
No, it's not. This is cool.
This is.
I don't care about this guy talking to the fucking piece of shit mummy who's not even scary, and he goes at 1 mile an hour and only uses a arm. He sucks. I like this horse.
Let's take a look at women in the Universal Monster movies narrative.
Oh, this is bad.
So, classically, they've always been subservient to men.
Plot devices.
Plot devices, really dumb, like in this case, and marrying a guy immediately after knowing him for a few days, even if he stalks her.
There you go.
You were set.
Christopher Lee is a wonderful break to just kind of relax after watching a really bad movie. And we're back into it.
3 people tied to the Bannings have all been killed, and they don't think, oh, let's put security outside the house. I just kidnapped you, and you're gonna bear my child. Yeah, you know what that's called?
It's called a lot of things you could put someone away in jail for.
Oh, what's the capital of Sweden? Stockholm Syndrome. Oh no. Did you see the army with pitchforks and torches?
This is how they all end. The last 5-ish minutes is just bonkers. They all end this way.
Why doesn't he okay. They always stop when they hear a lot of people. Why don't they just fucking do it?
That's a trope that still continues today. Not even with monster movies, just in movies. When the villain's gonna kill a thing, and then the hero swoops in, or something happens, and they just stop immediately. Like, oh, you could have just fulfilled your plan.
Oh wow, he used his other hand for the first time in the movie. He doesn't use it to fight, he only uses it for fucking
to lumber.
Carrying women. Honestly,
they marketed it as Lon Chaney is the mummy. I can't even fucking tell. Looks the same as the last one. It's gonna look the same as the next 10.
Really? The off-screen getting shot thing? Yeet her into the lake like Frankenstein did. Are they gonna bring all these torches into this home?
Yeah. Just burn down the entire house to solve
No,
one
they don't
guy.
want to do that because she's also in there.
Ooh.
He's weak to fire.
A light push.
You know who else is weak to fire? Everyone else. Throw her over the railing.
We're in the home stretch, out of 10.
0.5.
I'm giving it the 1.
Like, this is ass. I can't give it a 0. I can. It's a 0. This film blows.
If we're factoring in the Christopher Lee parts,
0.
I gotta give it the 1. And if we're not, I'm probably also gonna give it the 1.
Oh, Basil Rathbone saves the day. Wow.
It's not even him.
I know, but it's a bad movie.
He's in future ones.
Really?
Yeah, actually a few of the ones on our list.
Good, because he looks like Clark Gable.
Significant lack of Clark Gable. Clark Gable were in this, it'd probably be the 10.
It'd probably still be a fucking 0, because the plot, he punched the mummy. He just punched the mummy.
We got some fresh action.
This shitty guy versus the mummy.
Yeah, why is the mummy so much more powerful than everyone else? He's just a guy. He's a dead guy.
They give him magic juice.
What do you mean?
Remember, that's how he comes to life. They give him magic Egypt juice.
Couldn't you give that to anyone?
Nope.
Why does it have to be
He's
an old dead guy?
This is fucking... Can I give it a negative score?
That's why you can't just slap a 0 onto it. You gotta leave room for when it gets even worse.
Yeah, but now I'm slapping a 0 onto it.
They're married now?
Yeah.
What? A mummy burned or helped in the fact of burning down their entire place.
A mansion, too, by the way. They just lost a mansion.
They just lost a mansion to an old dead guy, and they're like,
Yeah, but they probably had insurance.
Ooh, yay, insurance. That's the moral of the story. You ready for the next one, buddy?
No.
Frankenstein meets the Wolfman.
That's gonna be in a good one, I guess.
That's gotta be a good one.